accept that. I used to get, like, anxious over it. I'd be like, "Okay, I own so many books. Why do I need these?" But then it's like, this is what I love, and this is what I
Yeah.
wanna pursue, so everybody has their thing, and this is mine.
I was never self-conscious about being a writer. I was actually my island, Long Island, high school poet laureate. So I was
Mhm.
like very big into poetry back in high school.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of writing friends in college?
Um, I definitely have made a lot more this year. I intern for the English department at my college, so I've been able to connect with a lot of other students and faculty members through that way. But I definitely make a lot of my friends through social media, just by Twitter is more of my niche for writing and reading. I have connected with a lot of people through Twitter, and I think that's a great spot for writers, because people are just so open to talking about um, what they face when they write because it's
Mhm.
such like a isolated craft on your own, but it is so welcoming in such a big communal space. Like you don't realize how many people actually do write in their free time, and it's amazing to get to connect with people online like that.
It's something that I'm still getting accustomed to myself is finding people who like reading books. To be honest, I of course I read a lot, mostly
Mhm.
definitely back in high school and college.
Yeah.
But it always was more for me. People, I always just found people just loved watching TV shows and movies more as a form of storytelling.
Mhm.
I've seen in recent years there's been a big push back to like physical books, comic books, like all these things. I think it's going in an exciting direction, honestly, where we're seeing renaissance or a rebirth of physical books, honestly. And
Mhm. I don't really go on TikTok personally, but I know that TikTok has helped a lot of people, who weren't necessarily big readers a few years ago expand into it. I think that it is really interesting to see the contrast between people who have been reading. I would honestly say the pandemic helped physical
mm,
books come back in.
for sure.
And as someone who, like yourself, have always been reading before that, it's interesting to see the contrast of people on social media who were readers before the fact and now after. And I have this conversation with a lot of people about writers too, and books that become popular are very timely versus timeless now. Like you can see authors who kind of dish out a bunch of books in 1 year and they can write really fast just because it's what people want in this time.
Mhm.
But I like to find works that are timeless that you can just go back to no matter when, and it'll never go out of style. And I think that is like something that's being strayed away from. I don't know, just authors that I've seen recently that are like sold on shelves at Barnes and Noble
Mm,
are a lot. They're just writing to keep up with the time and with
yeah.
what people enjoy. And I try and like find, you know, the back ones that will be here for centuries and centuries that people can't
Centuries.
get
Oh
over.
man, that's
Yeah.
what
Like
do you what do
some
you do
good
with all your what do you
classics.
do with all your books? That's a question I had. I think you have like a giant shelves of books. Like, what do you do with all those books, Olivia?
Well, moving is a little difficult. I've already started to think about that when I'm like living on my own, past college, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take them all with me, but that's a part of it. And I've come to accept that. I used to get like anxious over it. I'd be like, okay, I own so many books. Why do I need these? But then it's like, this is what I love and this is what I
Yeah.
want to pursue. So everybody has their thing and this is mine.
What's next? Is what's next for you writing a book? Is that something you're aspiring to do? What do you kind of where do you see it all leading?
So I have written two novels. One of them has a second draft done, and one of them just has a first draft done. I
Mhm,
don't normally pay like super, super close attention to them all the time. Like right now, they're both just sitting to the side, kind of marinating in their thoughts. But
mhm.
I do participate in NaNoWriMo every November. So that's like my time to just spur out a whole novel at once. I'll take October to outline whatever draft of whatever of the 2 novels, and then I'll take November to write it, and so I have 2 underway.
But it's
Mhm.
something that, I think after you do the first one, then it just keeps you get in this cycle and then you kind of just you get more in tune with it and
Yeah.
it just like flows out of you, honestly. So I definitely am excited for your first one and then everyone after that, Olivia.
Thank you.
Keep us updated for sure.
I
I'm sure.
will.
But some other things you've been doing. You mentioned your Twitter book reviews. I see that you just started doing like weekly podcasts and YouTube. Oh, like why now?
Is it's kinda natural, like, somebody asked me this recently, they're like, "Why do you do this?" And, like, I don't have an answer other than, like, I just want to, like, I
Yeah.
find it so much fun to talk to people like you, like, every week, being able to reach out and, like, make authors excited to promote their work and be able to show people, like, "Look at this review that someone wrote for me," like, it's just an accomplished feeling in me, and I think I started all of it in 2023, kinda let it all loose at once, but it's been good.
And what you're building now is going to be valuable, maybe in 6 months or a year from now for, not right away, but over time, yes, it will. I see it all the time. And, building an audience, it's valuable in literally anything you do or decide to go into, especially for writing. But it's true against all industries. So yeah, it's an exciting time. And I think I think you'll get there. I know you just started, but just based on your passion and the fact that you enjoy doing it, it's gonna make you continue doing it every week in and out when sometimes you don't want to. It's like
Mhm.
and but I think I have a good feeling that it'll be you'll keep up and it'll be successful.
Thank
And
you.
then what's with New York? I think you did a vlog or something recently where you came to New York for a
Mhm.
day. What attracted New York in particular?
I I've always loved New York. I'm actually coming again next month. Came over winter break. I just really try and come whenever I can. I just love how much is fit into one place, like, culturally, socially, like, everything about it, it's just all there, and it's such a literary hub too, like, everything, books and literature is just there, and, like, anytime you think of anywhere to be for this sort of industry, it's New York City, and I I just now that I've been so many times, when I'm not there, I literally have FOMO, like, I miss out. I'm like, "There's so much going on there right now. I want to be there," and I just love it so much. I don't know.
I mean, I could not agree more. I was born and raised here, so I grew up in New York City. So, but it's cool. It's cool hearing that because I think you're from Florida or something. It's just
Mhm.
like
Yep.
it's wild. But I used to go to the Strand almost every day when I was in college because it was right around the corner from my
Mhm.
college in Union Square. Like, yeah, great big bookstores. The biggest bookstores I've ever
Yep.
seen were there, and it's always like so filled with people, and it feels like honestly back then it felt so out of place, but now I'm starting to understand. People, even Barnes and Nobles, people just like going there to read, check it out, hang out. It's an interesting, definitely place. Lots of different types of people you meet in New York City. That's for sure. What is your kind of like your favorite book?
I guess recently I've been reading a lot of classics lately, and I'm trying to familiarize myself with classics. I just I really love Dracula. I always will go back to Dracula just from the format of journals, letters. I just think it's so interesting and timeless. But, I also always say how my, like, ideal series for, like, middle grade age that I remember reading in middle school, these are actually 2 series that I have reread, that really put me into the fantasy footprint was, the Land of Stories series and the Fablehaven series. Both of those are great fantasy series for honestly, you could read at any age, but those kinda jump-started me, and then I don't know, I have a lot, I can't ever just say one, but, I
Have you ever read a graphic novel before? And is that something that you've read before? Do you like those books or how do
I
you feel?
do.
Okay.
It's a little it's that is something that I do also that poetry and graphic novels, I told myself in 2023 I really wanna actually dive into more and understand more because I have a few graphic novels, like, I used to collect the Amulet ones,
Hmm.
and there were, like they're like spin-offs. I have like a Snow White one, but it like made Snow White look evil. I don't know. I have like a few like DC and Marvel comics, but I definitely want to get more into it, but that it can be overwhelming when you don't know much about it, where to
It's a
start,
whole
so
new world that was opened up to me again, like about like a year and a half ago, and it definitely now I'm like so well versed in this genre, and it's just like it's like it's niche where people who don't really know about it, they don't really know about it, but everybody who like knows about it, they're like huge fans. They get so deep into the lore and
Mhm.
all the different types, and it's a cool way of combining storytelling and art, and
Yeah.
it's almost closer to the cinematic experience, but as of course
Mhm.
it's its own very format, just as
Yeah.
a novel is its own format. But yeah, it's something that it's ripe for exploration. Um,
Well, I
very
would love
cool.
some recommendations.
Yeah, I will give you. You can start with my book. No.
No, I will, I literally will, that's
Anything? Any last words you want to leave with your newfound fans, Olivia? Maybe you have something you want to say to them.
I don't know, just that, like, don't don't get self-conscious about it, just if you love to read and you love to write, like, find your people. Social media makes it so accessible, and you never know if you don't try, so just go for it.
Could not have said it better myself. Thanks for hanging out with us, Olivia, today.
I
What
wish I wish this interview would have been yesterday. I was literally wearing my Strand crew neck
oh,
yesterday.
yeah. Oh, man, but yeah, when you're back in New York, maybe we'll go to the Strand or something. I'm
Yes.